The H-1B lottery is one of the most cutthroat, brutal visa programs in the world. In 2024, about 480,000 people fought for the 85,000 visa slots, less than 1 in 5 chance. So if you're applying for the H-1B this year or in the future, you can't afford to mess this up. And in this video, I will break down everything you need to know about the H-1B, how the lottery process works, why it works this way, and how you can enter your name in this. And we'll also talk about some alternatives that you can apply for if you don't get picked in the H-1B lottery. So let's dive in. Hey, since we're deep diving into the H-1B, I want to take a quick detour and talk about something every immigrant deals with: sending money home. If you're sending money from US to India, you already know about the hidden transaction fees and bad exchange rates. So 8 months ago, I found this company called Crobo.money. They offered instant transfers with zero hidden fees, zero transaction fees, and the best exchange rates. Honestly, it was a little too good to be true. But then I used them, and I've used them in the last 8 months to send more than $50,000, along with 10,000 other people. So you're in good hands. So if you've been looking for a service that offers the best exchange rates, then check out Crobo.money. And as a special offer, click the link in the description below to get a $25 Amazon gift card once you sign up and make a transaction of $500 or more. Now let's go back to H-1B. Hi, hello and vanakkam. My name is Soundarya Balasubramani. I'm a 2-time author and founder of a multi-million-dollar startup in the US. Currently, I'm working on my 3rd book and first novel, 1000 Days of Love, and creating a course Beyond Luck. Before we dive in, as always, if you find this video useful, please hit the subscribe button. It really and genuinely helps the channel. Quick disclaimer, I am not a licensed attorney and this is not legal advice. If you're looking for legal advice, talk to a lawyer. I'm simply sharing insights from years of research on this topic. So first, what is the H-1B? I know you kind of know what the H-1B is already, but let's just do a quick refresh. The H-1B is a non-immigrant temporary work visa that US employers use to hire foreign immigrants in specialty occupations across tech, engineering, finance, healthcare, and more. It's valid for up to 6 years. They give it to you for 3 years in the beginning, and then you can extend it for 3 more years. But here's the good news. In these 6 years, if you start your green card process, then you can stay beyond the 6 years as well. And finally, the H-1B is so popular because the bar for entry is very low. All you need is a bachelor's degree and a job offer that is related to your degree. That's why there is so much demand for it. But you might be thinking, why is it a lottery process and when was that introduced? The H-1B was introduced all the way back in 1990. This was when the US wanted to attract skilled professionals from across the world in fields like tech, healthcare, finance, engineering, and so on. But soon enough, the demand for the visa skyrocketed much more than the supply. So the US had to put a cap of 65,000 visas a year, and then they added 20,000 in early 2000s for master's degree holders. But how do you keep things fair? And that's where the lottery comes in. They introduced this lottery system where you all put your names in this hat and it's picked at random so nobody gets any special privileges. Over the decades, the demand for the visa has only gone up. So here is a chart of how the H-1B demand versus supply has changed over the last 25 years. Especially in 2023, you can see that huge spike. And that's because they made it very easy to apply for the H-1B lottery in that year. And the registration fee was just $10. But then in 2024, thankfully, USCIS made this one change that cut the applications in half almost. They changed the lottery rules to reduce fraud because a lot of consulting firms were putting in 10, 20 applications for one person just to game the system and increase chances. But since 2024, you cannot do this because your passport and other details are tied to the application. So it's only one shot per applicant. All right, let's talk about timeline. This is very important, so pay attention. Registration opens March 7th, 12 noon ET 2025. Registration closes March 24th, 12 noon ET 2025. So you only have about 18 days to put your name in. And by March 31st, 2025, you'll know the results, whether your name was picked or not. And assuming your name is picked, you have about 3 months, April 1st to June 30th, to send in the full petition. Because remember that during the lottery, all you're doing is putting your name in this hat. And if your name is picked, you have to send the full application with all the details. Step 1, your employer registers you. So your employer takes care of this. They submit your name in the process and pay about $215 in registration fee. And once again, you cannot submit multiple applications and expect a higher chance because it is all one per applicant. Step 2, the lottery happens. So first they pick 65,000 people at random from the entire pool of applicants. And when that is done, they pick another 20,000, but this is only from the pool of applicants who have a master's degree or higher. So if you have a master's degree, you get a second shot and a slightly higher chance than those with a bachelor's degree. Step 3, results are announced. And this is by March 31st, 2025. If your name gets picked, congratulations, your employer can now send in the full petition on your behalf. Step 4, your employer sends in the full petition, and this has to be before June 30th, 2025. So here your employer would be submitting a bunch of documents, including the Form 129, the LCA, your job details, credentials, offer letters, and so on. There is cost associated with this step. So your employer has to spend anywhere from a few thousand to $8,000 depending on their size and if they go through premium processing or not. But don't worry, your employer is the one who's supposed to pay this, not you. And finally, step 5, USCIS reviews your petition and sends you the approval. If you get the approval, awesome, you can start working on the H-1B from October 1st of that year, assuming you file through something called the change of status. And sometimes they can also send you an RFE. RFE means request for evidence. This means that USCIS thinks they still need some more evidence from you or your employer to approve the petition. Alright, let's say that you go through the lottery, your name is picked, you send the application and your application is approved. What next? If you're inside the US, your status automatically changes to the H-1B from October 1st of that year. But if you're outside the US, there is something called a consular processing. This means you have to book a visa appointment at one of the consulates, go there, submit some more documents, and then get your stamping on passport to come back to the US. And lastly, if you're not selected, just remember that it's a random selection process. It has nothing to do with your skill set or background. It is random. And it happens. Only less than 1 in 5 people who apply get selected. So most people don't. But don't panic. There are some alternatives you can look at. You can look at the O1 visa, the L1 visa, the H-1B cap exempt visa, going back to school on F1, and a few more options. In the next video, I'll break down all of these options in much more depth, so stay tuned for that. And before you go, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who is currently going through the H-1B lottery. Thanks so much for watching.